Yes, Richard Corey is obviously presented as a flawless person. That's right. Corey is, let's say, just presented as a flawless person. What else? Yes. What else you can tell about Richard Corey? People admired him, right? Can we say that? Yes, right? People admired him. What else? Yes, your ideas, please. Send them to chat. Anything that you get into your mind when you talk about this poem, Richard Corey. Yes, what else? It also talks about the situation of common people. Let's say the pathetic economic condition of common men in society. Yes, nobody sees him beyond his manners and appearance. Yes, exaggerated as a king among poor people. Very good. People admired him. Very good. What else? Exaggerated as a king. Now, all these things are what people have seen and how Richard Cory appeared to be. Right? How Richard Cory appeared to be. So, what can you tell about his hidden life? His hidden life. What is your idea? What can you tell about his hidden life? Yes? It is actually not weaved by anybody, right? His real life is not weaved by anyone. His real life is not exposed to anyone. What else? He should have suffered a lot, right? He has suffered a lot. We can see how his final burst actually. He shot himself, no? He had suicidal thoughts long time ago. So yes, we can tell like that. So what else? People believe that he's the light. No, he's the light. The flawless person, let's say. people believed that he is the light, and they are in darkness. Okay, he is the light, but they are in darkness. And we also can say the false values, no? The false values of people. So they judge people by like looking at their appearance, behavior, their condition of the economy. They judge people in those ways, right? So it's like this false values in the society and the hidden truth of rich people. We can't say that they are exactly rich, but rich looking people, no? Yes. Okay, so basically, there are a lot of things that you can remember. Now, at once I ask like this, you don't get anything into your mind. That is the thing. So, these are the things what we get into our mind once we remember this poem actually, right? Now, I didn't talk about the relevance of these points to this question yet, okay? I didn't talk about the relevance of it to uh, the question yet, but still talking about what you can see there, okay? What you get into your mind once you remember this poem. And here I have mentioned several facts that you can analyze in this question. So once again, if we go to this question, a book cannot be judged by its cover. Do you agree? So first tell me whether you agree with this or not. Everybody, can you send me the answer for this? Agree or not? Please send your answers to the chat whether you agree with this or not. I'm searching for someone who disagrees. Everybody agrees, no? Okay. Yes. Yes, we have to agree with this. Looking at all these things and analyzing the poem, as we have followed the poem earlier, we obviously have to agree with this point. Yes. So, as we agree with this, right? As we agree with this, we should have points to analyze that why do we agree? Okay. So here are several points. First of all, when you agree with this, you have to compare this. Now, for instance, this is Richard Cody's physical appearance, right? It is actually the cover of the book. Okay, when we apply this to what? The question. And his personality and behavior. So actually it can be tell like his outward personality. Because his inward personality is actually weak. That's why he suicides himself. Right? This is also the cover of the book. Cover. And people's attraction towards him. That is also actually what people see, the false things that the people see, the people's judgments. Okay, people's judgments. People judge them. We can add that point. Judge by the cover. That is the common thing that happens. Then Richard Corey, how Corey is hidden inside burst out in a pathetic way. So this is the inside of the book. Inside of the book. Okay. So the cover of the book can be compared to Richard Cory's physical appearance and his outward personality and behavior, and how the people gets attracted to him based on the false values. Okay, and the hidden reality of the people with perfect qualities. So we think that this Richard Cory is perfect, flawless, but at the same time, finally, we can see the insight of the lives of people. The people never think of these things, okay? And false values of the society. So with this question, actually, the false value is taken from the book, the cover of the book itself. You can apply that fact here, right? False values of the society. The most of the people in the society, they tend to judge by looking at the book, the cover of the book. They don't read inside once they buy the book, right? So that's it. Okay, right. So these points can be analyzed in your answer when you are answering this question. Okay, still I didn't go to the question. And the next thing is, I want to remind you some of the quotations that can be used when you are writing an answer for a question from this Richard Cory actually. Not only for this particular question, you can also use these quotations for any question that you might get from this poem. Right? Because these are some of the crucial points you can, if you are tactful, you can use them, like making them appropriate for the question. Well, so a gentleman from soul to crown, clean favored and imperially slim. All these things are his outer appearance, right? He was rich, years richer than a king. The exaggeration lies there, and how people judge the other people using the economical conditions. We worked and waited for the light. That is the pathetic situation and the reality of the common people, common living creature, common people in the society, right? And went without meat and cursed the bread. That again the pathetic situation of the people in the working class in this society. But they think that Richard Cory doesn't have any of these problems. Richard Cory, one calm summer night, put a bullet through his head. One calm summer night. So calmness, silence, quietness, that is a foreshadowing for something dangerous, right? That is why the poet says, one calm summer night. So calmness can be end up in something very aggressive at the next moment, right? So, and bullet through his head, that is the climax. And that is the most crucial point. What happens to Richard Cory? Well, so these quotations, now not all these things, like, and also I must say that you don't need to remember the whole thing at once. Just one calm summer night, bullet through his head, richer than a king, soul to crown, anything that you, part of it also, imperially slim, right? Part of it also can be taken because you can't remember all these things. Okay, right. So let me go. Now I'm going to the question now. So as a help for you, I have written the introductory part actually, right? Introductory part. So let's go to the question again. Now I'm always going to the question, right? Because I want you to remind that You should write relevant facts for this question. Okay? The facts should be relevant. That's why I'm always going to the question again and again and asking you to remind it. Okay? So, this is the introduction. The question is, a book cannot be judged by its cover. Do you agree? And you have to have references from the poem. So here is the introduction that I have written, right? And this can be formed in your own way, but there should be an organization, and most importantly, it is compulsory to say whether you agree with this statement or not in the first paragraph, in the introductory paragraph itself. Because then the examiners know all these facts are to support it. And at the end of it also, in the conclusion also, you have to provide that you're like you are into this and you agree with this with all these facts. Okay, right. Moksha, can you read this introduction, please?
Appearances are deceptive. This is commonly proven in the modern world with the behavior of people. The poem Richard Cory, which is written by Edwin Arlington Robinson, is woven around the pathetic fate of a rich-looking gentleman.
Okay.
Richard Cory. I would agree that the poem Richard Cory demonstrates the falsehood of outer appearance and claims the saying, a book cannot be judged by its cover.
Yes. So the introduction is given like as the first part of it. The introduction is given. I have started with a small quote. Now, for each and every question, you can't do this. But if you can do something like that, it may attract the readers, the examiners, right? So, like this is commonly proven in the modern world, and then I have written this poem, this woven around something general about this poem, and in the third line, I have written that I would agree with the poem that Richard Cory demonstrates the falsehood of outer appearances and claims the saying a book cannot be judged by its cover. So, however, you have to say whether you agree with it or not in the introductory paragraph itself. So, this is just a help for you. Otherwise, I won't be providing you like exact answers, but I'm guiding you to write answers because that should be written in your own way. Otherwise, literature is not like studying and by hearting answers for a question and writing it. But I'm just giving you a guidance to write an answer. Then you can create it in your own way. Maybe you can write nicely than me, right? Obviously, you can write nicely than me, right? Okay. So next. Now, using all these points and what you have added also, and what I have written, we can analyze, we can build up our answer. This is how we are building up our answer. So the introduction is okay. I'm guiding you for the body paragraphs. At least as your O-level students, at least 2 points should be there. At least. So if you can write 3 points, that would be like much better. Okay. So first, Richard Cory has been presented as a perfect, flawless gentleman. So you can write about the appearance, outer appearance of Richard Cory in this paragraph, connecting it to the cover of a book, right? And that is the first point. So after that point, actually, we are writing, after that point, we are writing a connection to the question at the end of that particular paragraph. So I have written, thus, the outer cover of Richard Cory has been explained using all the above admiration. All right? So you can understand this very well. We are always connecting it to the question. Now, our question is not asked what are the appearances of Richard Cory, but we are using Richard Cory's appearance to tell that it is just like he is judged by, like, people have judged him using his outer appearances and behavior, and obviously it's like Richard Cory. Richard Cory's outer appearance is like a cover of a book. That is how we are connecting. And the second point I have written here is how the ordinary people falsely judge Richard Cory. So the people's judgment. Okay. So there you can talk about how people think he's the light of this town, and he doesn't have any problem at all, right? Those are the things that they think. And so you can say, so the false judgment of people direct them in a wrong attitude. Wrong attitude is there because the people judge in a false manner. And thirdly, the poet's revelation of the true inside of the book, who is presented by Richard Cory. So, like the true inside of a book, Richard Cory's inside is not visible at once. So his outrageous thoughts, his hidden and compressed feelings. Maybe he's having some oppressed mindset, although he smiles at others and neatly dressed, right? So there, it's just like the cover of the book. You know, the cover of a book is actually it's nice, it's colorful, it's eye-catching, it's attractive. So Richard Cory can be seen in the same way, right? So that's how you have to build up your answer. So whenever you're writing answers, you have to now in between you have to quote lines. Some quotations have also been given. Okay. And you have to, while mentioning the facts of the facts from the poem itself, you have to add several factors relating to the question. That is how you have to build up your answer. And the conclusion should also be there, right? So in the conclusion, you have to write that because of all these factors, I would agree with the statement that a book cannot be judged by its cover. It's not just a line, right? Remember, always remember, conclusion is not just a line. Conclusion is not just a line. It should be a small paragraph of 5 to 6 lines. There you have to summarize what you have written throughout the poem within one line. Because of these facts, I would say that this is agreeable. Well, so with that you can try the conclusion. Okay, so it's the end of the context, the essay type question from the poem Richard Cory. So now let's move to the context question of the past paper, the last year's paper. Okay, so I'm going to display them now. If you have the paper with you, you can get them into your hand, right? So I will give about 5 to 10 minutes for you to go through those questions, and we'll be back with the answers from the marking scheme, right? So please go through the question. I'll share that. If you have the question paper, please take it into your hand, and that will be easier for you. Okay. How can I do this now? I have to scroll this, no? Okay, this is can you see it? You can't, no? Right, I will scroll it. Just note down the answers for the question. And just see how many marks that you can score. I will scroll it, right?